Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. It's Mary Jane. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's talk about Snowfall, season 2, episode 7. The world is yours. Remind me of a Nas song. So let's start off. We got Kevin, Leon, and Franklin in the movie theaters watching Scarface. They're watching Scarface. They're chilling. And Franklin is saying that he wants some rules. He wants some type of constitution, like, some type of commandments, like people to be held accountable for, like in his organization. I was like, the 10 crack commands from Biggie. That's what I was thinking. And so you can see where Franklin mind is at. Like, he want rules, just like the Black Panthers with his father, and then the girl that he might end up talking to. Like, he wants rules, he wants order, and that's only natural. Like, he's not just trying to be out here just like some wildcat just selling drugs and things like that. He wants a constitution with this. I was like, go Franklin. And Kevin is like, come on, if you the boss, you the boss. That's just it. Like, they're very different. And so Franklin takes him out to the beach, but before then, there's a lady outside saying Ronald Reagan is a liar. He's a liar. Yes, he is a liar. Too bad it took too many years to find out how much of a liar he was. He was down with his drugs being shipped and to the USA when he was talking about just say no to drugs, him and his wife. So it's just like, yeah, that lady was right. All them people that was right, that people thought that was crazy back then, was right about Ronald Reagan. Half of his administration, he didn't even know whether he was coming or going because he had Alzheimer's. So that's just the business. That's just how it is. That's what, we deal with in these streets. So we have Kevin, Franklin, and Leon. They are at the beach. It seems like Leon never went to the beach at all. And then we have, Kevin said that he don't go past Crenshaw. So how's he going to be a big time drug dealer? How's he going to do that? And I told you he was going to change. I told you he was going to go to Lucia because he wants Franklin's spot because he don't want to take orders. I'm just like, this coward. But anyways, I do like Kevin. I do like Kevin too and everything. But I'm like, damn, Kevin, betrayal. What's the song? Lust, envy, hate, jealousy with Nas, AZ, and what's her name? Foxy Brown. This is love, envy, jealousy, hate. Love, envy, lust, jealousy, hey, I don't know. You guys gonna have to help me out. Somebody's got me in a comment reading me. Lust, envy, jealousy, hate. Was it power? I don't know. Let me just move on because I can't believe I don't know what was the four. It was the four evils, right? Okay. Let me just stop because I'm gonna keep. I'm about to type in and see if I can find it. So, anyway, so we have that situation going on. And so they go to the beach, and then Kevin, he's just chilling, he's just looking because he's feeling kind of out of place. He's feeling kind of shaky because he knows that he wants to make this move on Franklin. He knows he's going to betray him. He knows he wants to betray him, but he needs to find a reason. So he gets his reason later on in the episode. But that's when Franklin was like, I've been hard. I've been tough on you guys. My bad. That's only because I want to expand. I want to set you guys up. I want to do this for you. I want to do that for you. And I want you to be in charge. So that's why, I'm ruling with an iron fist. Because Franklin wants to expand. He wants to get a passport, and you hear Kevin, he won't even go past Crenshaw. I was like, okay, here we go. Franklin wants an empire. He wants an empire. He wants to build. So we'll see what happens with that situation. So we have Teddy. Teddy finds out that it's the DEA that's on him. He talks to his brother Matt. His brother Matt finds a dog. And Teddy was like, so the DEA thinks that we're drug dealers, yeah, and then the CIA is not going to protect us. So Matt is pretty much in deep. And Teddy also tells Matt that there's a CI, there's an undercover agent going on in the somewhere around, but he doesn't know who. Is like, damn, I wish Teddy or Matt would just talk to Lucia. Lucia would talk to Matt because they could have handled the situation a lot different right now. But Teddy's office is being watched by the DEA, and he has money there, and he needs that money because he needs to pay the Cubans. I mean, he needs to pay the people in Panama, Javi's people, because, they got the guns and he's supposed to pay them. But the money is at the office and he needs to get to the money, and he needs to get there fast in a hurry because, Javi done already called Matt and threatened him to tell him that he better get his ass down there with the money because they got the product, they got the guns. Where's the money? So now Teddy's going to have to take a risk to try to get the money, to try to make some drops, to try to get on the plane. And also Teddy and Matt hasn't been making drops or pickups with the other cartel. And that's a problem too as well. So they fall upon Matt and Teddy, and they have him, and they take Matt hostage, and they told Teddy he better fly commercial, he better fly first class, he better do whatever he needs to do. But the cartel said, I can help you, I can take care of the problem. But Teddy doesn't want them to take care of the problem because I think he feels like he's going to be more indebted. He doesn't want a DEA agent to get killed because it will happen, because if Alejandro was still around, Lorena would be dead right now. He would have found out, he would have been talking to Lucia. He would have been talking to Gustavo, in their language, like, hey, what's up? What's going on? What's good? And he would have found out she was shot. And it's like Teddy doesn't even know that Lucia's been shot, that she's having problems. He knows a little bit what's going on with Franklin, but it's like he's blind when it comes to Lucia and Gustavo. He thinks that's totally professional, or he just doesn't want to be bothered, or he's creeped out by Gustavo and Lucia because Lucia, they're portraying her to be pure evil. But I just see a woman on the woman trying to, take over. She's trying to do her thing. And also now we get to Auntie Lou, and we get to Claudia. And Claudia is acting all shady and shit. You know what I mean? Lou, she's actually getting ready to throw like a little ball at, Claudia's club is for the LGBTQ community, transsexuals, drag and things like that. And she was talking about, this club got raided, that club got raided, and it's a disease going around. And I believe they're talking about HIV, they're talking about AIDS. This is something that Ronald Reagan and his wife hid for a long time. It didn't do anything, and watched thousands and thousands, hundreds and thousands of people die until it was even discovered to be a disease, So it was good to see that, they actually brought in the LGBT community too as well, because we know they had the clubs back in the 80s. Like we had, there's so many people from the LGBT community that were fashion designers and just, on the up and coming, but especially the African Americans were killed when it comes to the virus, and a generation of young males, disappeared and died. So moving on from that situation, Auntie Lou was like, oh, you having a party without me? Like, what's going on? You didn't ask my permission. And Auntie Lou was like, I needed your permission to throw a party. So it seems like the situation is getting hectic because Auntie Lou thinks, Claudia thinks that Auntie Lou wants her business, wants her club. She did at one point, and maybe Auntie Lou on the low really does, but right now she's in love with Claudia. She's having a good time being by her side, but Auntie Lou feel like there's something shaky going on, and whatever she had to pay Franklin to have Auntie Lou there, and the whole situation that went down with that, she's not feeling too good. But she was happy before. She was taking out on trips, and all of a sudden now she's acting up, and she was talking about, oh, your diamonds are real, but the backs are fake or whatever. And she was just being real shady. Like, damn, Claudia, I thought you liked Auntie Lou. Auntie Lou chose you over Jerome. She left, Franklin in the drug business behind to be with you, even though you selling drugs and stuff like that. So we have that situation going on, and it seems really kind of weird. And so now we get to the party of, the LGBT community party at the club. It's nice. It looks good. And then all of a sudden, Auntie Lou and, Claudia sitting down having a conversation with a guy that is friends with, Claudia and Auntie Lou for a long time. Auntie Lou Claudia started going in and just saying, like, you was a street walker, you know what I mean? You was a prostitute, and, it's something charming about seeing someone so desperate, don't even know their own worth. I was like, whoa, she went in there. And she was like, she was a street hustler. Don't ever forget where you came from. It was just like she was shitting all over Auntie Lou. Like, she pulled that red carpet underneath her feet, like, in fast fury, in a hurry. I was like, whoa. And then they leave, and then after the party's over, they're like in the back of the bar, and Auntie Lou was like, what's going on? Is there a problem? What's happening? Why are you being like this? And that's when Claudia was like, you wanted my club. And Auntie Lou was like, if I wanted your club, I would have been had it. And she was like, I'm still paying for this pussy. I'm still paying for you. I had to pay Franklin. I had to do this to have you and all this other stuff. And so then, Auntie Lou pushed, Claudia on the couch. Claudia got up, dragged her by her hair. Then they just started fighting and kicking and hitting each other. Just two women going at it. I mean, just fighting. Because, also Claudia was drunk as hell. And so now they're on the floor. They're kicking, they're punching. They get to near the bar. And Claudia is actually choking Auntie Lou. Auntie Lou grabs a bottle, busts her over the head, busts Claudia over the head with it, and then hit her. And then she hit the ground, but she's still alive. She's in the hospital. And that's when Auntie Lou, she calls Jerome, told him to get over here fast and hurry. I need your help. So he comes through, and, I guess they rectified the situation, because right now Auntie Lou is at home, and I don't know if she's back, but right now it seems like she's back. And so we just have that situation go down. And then after that, we have Gustavo and Lucia. They at the gym. But before then, we have Franklin talking to, Teddy about expansion. He's talking about the McDonald brothers. He's just talking about, how people get screwed and all this other stuff. And he wants to be bigger than what he is. And, Teddy can't really hear it. He's telling this guy his dreams, and Teddy ain't nothing but a cop, a CIA agent, and it's probably going to bring him down in the long run. So, but Franklin's just showing you where he wants to go with this. He wants to ultimately sell the crack cocaine recipe and make millions. But maybe he should have started with Lucia, because she already got somebody that done sold her the recipe. And now the Mexicans done got the recipe. And they're kind of bigger, and they have more of a machine and a cartel behind them, that they might just put Franklin's going to be in competition with the Mexicans. And he's also going to be in competition with, Kevin, because Kevin is going to now start his own business pretty soon. And so we have that situation go on. And, but right now, Teddy is telling Franklin, like, hey, you need to chill out. Let's be on the low right now. Business is going to be on, there's some things that are happening going on. We just need to, lay low or whatever. So, you don't have to buy nothing from me this week or whatever. We're just gonna chill out for a minute, because there's some we got a CI, we got an undercover cop from the DEA in the building, but he didn't tell Franklin that because he doesn't want him to worry. And so then we get Kevin gets a phone call at Jerome's and Franklin's house, and that's Lucia talking about, hey, listen, 10 o'clock a.m. get over here and give me the recipe. You want to know who killed your cousin? You want this? You want to be the man? You want to be on top? I got you, but we need you. Meet me at the gym at 10 a.m. Be there or be square, basically. That's what she's saying. And so Kevin goes outside. He's sitting on the porch with Jerome and, Franklin. He's just looking. He don't know what to do with the situation. But he tells Lucia, stop calling me, lady. So we have that situation that goes down. And, so that happens. I'm just like, damn. And so we got Lorena. She's talking to her boss, Tony. And Tony is telling her that, hey, listen, first, Tony, he calls to find out the plates on, Teddy. But, he don't get the plates. He's told to call this number. And so he calls the number, and it's Teddy. And Teddy was like, hey, listen, I know you got a UC. Lies in his third, you need to stop it or you all be dead. No, he didn't say you're going to be dead. He said, but you need to stop it. I know what's going on. And if you know it's good for you, you better pull your CI. You better stop. and all this other stuff. Tony's kind of shooken. He tells Lorena, like, hey, this is what's going on. Your 48 hours is up. And they was like, it can't be the cartel. It can't be them, because if it was them, I would already be dead. So she thinks it's the white boys. She thinks it's Matt, and she thinks it's Teddy, and she's absolutely right. But she wants to arrest them and get them, but instead she's going to go after the cartel. But she's actually goes up to the warehouse with Pedro. So now she's back, and she's thinking that she's gonna get the white boy. She's thinking that she wants to make this big bust, but she goes in, and I don't know why she got the okay. So I don't know if she's gonna end up dead or not. That'll be the question. So she ends up going to, the warehouse with Pedro, and they go to the warehouse, and then that's when, Lucy was like, hey, Pedro, I need you to come with me. The white boys that made the drop, this and that. And, Gustavo's going to stay here and wait for, the white boys to come through, or the package to come through. You come with me. We're going to meet with Gabby. And, she only wants family. That's why Gustavo's not going. So Lucia takes, Pedro onto the ride. And then she confronts Pedro as he's walking into the building and asks him, hey, listen, is there anything that you want to tell me? Because your girlfriend, your fiance, she's DEA, my friend. And what's going on? Like, tell me something to make me believe that you're not a part of it. And then so that's when Pedro swears that she's not. And then Pedro was like, fuck it, she is. She's from Texas. I walked in there, I told her who I was, I told her who my family was, and you're a cancer, you need to be killed, you need to be destroyed, and you killed my whole family, and all this other stuff. And Lucia was like, hey, it's your fault. You the one tried to steal my business, you the one turned on me, you the one made all this happen. And so Pedro was like, nah, don't try to blame me for your ill will. And so he's just like, whatever. And he was like, oh, so what made you so evil is because you ran away while your sister got killed. And he goes, your father said that, he wanted to keep you on hold before you get out of control, and that vicious monster comes out of you. So he's basically saying your father thought you was a monster, Lucy. And that's when Lucia went pap, 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 pap. And there goes Pedro. We won't see Pedro anymore. He's gone. But we don't know what's going to happen to, Lorena, because she's over there at the warehouse with Gustavo. So we'll find out what happens to her, I guess, next episode. And we see Franklin and Franklin's dad and his mom getting along, dancing, having a good time. They kissing. He gives her his VA check. He got money coming in, and he's hoping that this is enough to pay for the mortgage, and it's supposed to be. And so mommy's all happy. They making out. They back together, and they look good together, and they're so happy to see them dancing. And plus the music this episode, they only played about 3 songs, but it was a good 3 songs. So I was like, hey. And so after that situation, Franklin's mother, she goes to the bank to pay the mortgage, and she finds out that some man with some long full name done paid up the mortgage, and she's upset and she's mad because Franklin took care of business. Of course her son was gonna pay her mortgage. What did she think? She know her son is smart. She made sure he went to the school in the suburbs. So, he took care of business, and he did it, and she's mad, and she wants to find a way. She feels like she don't own the house no more. She's upset, and his father is proud of Franklin and know that he still cares. So it's all good with that situation. And it was happy to see Franklin and his mother back together, and his father staying clean. And, his mother to be happy because she lost Franklin, she lost her job, and she's working these shitty jobs, but at least, she got a man that she loves to come home to. And, he's sitting there reading Franklin's father was sitting there reading a book, just chilling, laying back, knowing that, daddy took care of home. But, his VA check didn't matter because Franklin paid up all the bills. And so we have that situation. And so we have, Franklin and Kevin, they go over to Leon's house and everything like that. And they find out that everybody's over there doing drugs, and they're selling drugs on the low. And it's actually LaWanda. Franklin's upset. He confronts her. He yells at her. Leon jumps into Franklin's face. And that's the first time Leon has ever kind of got at Franklin. And so now Now you see that Franklin can be betrayed by Leon due to a woman, and as young as she is, she's gonna be a crackhead, because we know right now they don't know the effects of crack because they got nothing but it, but they're not gonna see how it's gonna destroy them in the end. So we have that situation go on, and you got Kevin that's trying to talk some sense into Franklin, say, hey, come on, don't yell at a man's girl, this and that. Franklin's like, I don't want to hear it, I'm babysitting a bunch of kids and all this other stuff. And so now that gives Kevin, like, he feels like he needs to go and work with Lucia, because that's the reason. Franklin's treating me like shit. Franklin thinks he's the man. He ain't the boss. He ain't gonna be talking to me like that. And he needs to chill. He needs to chill up. He needs to lay back. He needs to be more laid back, and he's not. So, Kevin now got his opportunity, to his excuse to go get up there with, Lucia and Gustavo, and he does. He goes over there, he see Gustavo and them, and they let him know that, oh, Franklin knew who killed your cousin. We told him we knew, but he didn't press us hard at the park or whatever. That's your homeboy. He told us to find out who did it, but she didn't tell him that she warned Franklin not to do it because it's bad for business, because this guy is a bad, marenta, whatever. And he's awful and this and that, and it'll bring war down on all of us. But so now she made it seem like Franklin didn't care that his cousin got killed, and so boom, that's when Kevin was like, take me, baby. So Kevin rides with Lucia and Gustavo. They go look around, and they see the guy that killed his cousin. And I'm glad Kevin asked the question, like, how do I know you're not going to send me to anybody to kill? You know what I mean? What about what about if the person's your enemy? And Lucia was like, yeah, the person is my enemy, Blase in the third, but yeah, he's our enemy. He's gonna cause problems. So now he was like, Franklin found out who he was because he was visiting his daughter. So now Kevin found out who the person is that killed his cousin, and so now he's happy, and he shows him the recipe to cook the crack, and that's that. I'm just like, damn, Franklin got a lot of shit going on. He got, what's going on. And Franklin is worried about what happened to Auntie Lou. Like, she got cops, she got people on her team or whatever. So he's worried about that situation. And he knows that, he's feeling something going on with, Leon, especially Leon, not Leon, but, Kevin the most. But he doesn't know that he's about to be betrayed. And I wish Franklin would be thinking that, what, Lucia approached them. Why wouldn't Lucia approach his men? I wonder if Franklin is actually thinking about that's going to happen. And so now Franklin got Kevin's going to be his enemy pretty soon. Now he got this situation going on with Auntie Lou and Claudia that he's worried about. Now he got Teddy telling him, hold on, we're going to put things on hold because he got some situationship to deal with. And then he's also watching everybody take these drugs that are in his community, and then having people work for him that's actually taking the drugs. So he's like telling Leon, like, hey, listen, anybody doing drugs on our team, that's not cool. And like the rules and the regulations needs to come in, because the 10 crack commands from Biggie: never keep the crack and the money in the same spot, never get high off your own supply. And we got all that going on right now. And Franklin knows it's messed up, but this is Franklin's first time being a drug dealer, so he needs some type of organization skills, how to organize his team. And I think he's actually trying to find out how to do that, because when he was talking to Teddy, he was mentioning Al Capone, he was mentioning different gangsters. So I think he's going to start doing some studying and some research about how to organize his gang and have some rules and regulations and a constitution. But the question is whether Leon is going to be with Franklin, or is he going to roll with Kevin? Because ultimately it seems like Leon's going to have to make a decision. I believe Leon would choose, Franklin. But I don't know, when Leon sat on the porch next to Franklin, if Leon actually know what Kevin is about to do with Lucia and Gustavo. And is he actually going to warn Franklin, or he just don't know? But Leon felt some type of way. But if Leon thinks that it's okay that his girlfriend is getting high and selling drugs in the house, and everybody knows what she's doing, like, it's supposed to be shipped off different places. It doesn't supposed to go back to the gang members, not even gang members, but the crew that they have. So it seems like it's going to get really worse for Franklin, not better but worse. And he might even have to go to war with Kevin. and he might have to go to war with, Claudia. And is Auntie Lou going to be able to get back into the swing of things and the line of things in her business, because she's going to be depressed being back in that house with Jerome, because she wants to be flamboyant. She wants to be, the life of the party. She wants to live the good life. She wants to just, show off, have a good time, have cocktails, drink, host. She don't want to be no criminal like that, and cooking up drugs. So we're going to see how this situation plays out. Is she going to, be on a team with Franklin because Franklin wanted Claudia's club? Is she going to now help Franklin get Claudia's club at this time? And is she going to snap back into things and be right by Franklin's side? Because Franklin's going to need a lot of people on his side, especially when he finds out Kevin unsold his rock, and he's going to find out pretty soon. And I don't know if he's going to figure out that it's Kevin, because Lucia promised Kevin that nobody would know at all. So we'll see what happens. But Leon did apologize to Franklin, said that he was sorry for what he did, but he was like, yo, that's my girl LaWanda. I love her. Don't be yelling at her. It seems like, Leon, he never had no pussy before. Now he got some, and he don't see it's bad for business for his girl to be out in the open and everybody know what she's doing, where she can get robbed and things can happen to her, and her also doing the drugs, like, because they haven't seen the effects of crack yet. So a lot of people were saying that they want, to see more of the Crips and the Bloods to be, involved in the show. But, Franklin was excellent this episode. Kevin was excellent this episode. Jerome was excellent this episode. Claudia and Auntie Lou was excellent. Also, Lucia did a really good job this episode too. Gustavo did as well. Matt did as well. But, who else did a good? Leon, he had a really short role this episode, but Franklin really did good this episode, and Kevin stood out. Franklin and Kevin stood out the most in this episode, and Auntie Lou with her big old fight over there with Claudia and calling Jerome to come help her, and Jerome with his little small piece of role in the episode. It was good watching him lift weights and sitting on the couch near Franklin. So I guess that's it. And Matt has been taken by the cartel. And now we're going to find, Teddy's just having a hard damn time. But it's so unbelievable to believe that he's a drug dealer. Like, he looks like a cop, he acts like a cop, but nobody sees it. His brother seems not like a cop, but I guess that's how you do things. Peace. I'm out. One love.